I need you to not touch me.
A federal arrest.
Do not touch me. Come on.
Okay, so that was City Council member Atel Hajehai of Worcester, Massachusetts. And if you already know about this story, you know she's already been accused of assault, obstruction, impediment, starting a riot, using her position for power by the Department of Homeland Security and local law enforcement. Now, the body cam footage has finally been released, and we all have the same question. How has she not been arrested yet?
Guys, you gotta step back.
Take her! Do not take her!
Step back.
No, ma'am, this is my constituent. No, you do not touch me. Do not touch me.
I need you to go over there.
I need you to not touch me.
A federal arrest.
Do not touch me. Come on.
Now, we're gonna do this together, but I'm already seeing impediment, assault, and obstruction within 10 seconds of the body cam footage. Also, we will talk about why this illegal immigrant is even being arrested by the Department of Homeland Security later in the video.
Let's go. Come on. Please don't touch me. No,
You're obstructing a federal arrest right now. Do you understand that?
Let's go.
You can be charged. We could absolutely. Step off the
I don't
vehicle.
understand. No, I'm the district council. I have a right to be here. Yeah, do not touch me. Why are you touching me? No.
Don't fucking touch me.
Don't touch me.
Now, one of the big complaints is that her behavior also emboldened others to act in this manner. In fact, you will notice throughout the body cam footage, as the city councilor gets more aggressive, so does the crowd. So pay attention to that.
Guys, you gotta step away. Back away! You gotta back away!
Hands on me!
Counselor!
You're hurting her.
Hey, would you stop this? Listen, would you stop it? Listen.
Okay, so we have a lot to break down. Number one, you may have heard her say, you don't have a warrant, you can't do this. We'll get to that later in the video, why Homeland Security is arresting this woman or detaining her. Now, later in the sequence, you can see she actually gets in a screaming and fighting match with law enforcement making physical contact. I mean, watch this.
Hands on me!
Counselor!
Okay, so from here, they diffuse the situation, and they are referring to her as city councilor, so they know who she is. Now, later in the sequence, you can even see she's using a civilian as a pick, like it's the NBA. She's going around him, and then she will re-embed herself in the middle of all of those officers, once again, assaulting, obstructing, and impeding the arrest. And the other reason why in the complaint they said these civilians are emboldening themselves is because this city councilor, they know who she is. Hey, if she's getting in the middle of all of this, so can we, right?
Back away from the car.
Let her go. She's my constituent.
The people who are under arrest are under arrest,
She's
okay?
not. She hasn't done anything.
She's under arrest.
She's not under
back
arrest. She
away,
hasn't
man.
done anything. Sean, she hasn't done anything,
Please don't
Sean.
play. Stop.
She hasn't done anything. Let her go. Please let her go. Let her go. She hasn't done anything. She's traumatized.
So that is the big question. Has that illegal immigrant done anything? Why would Homeland Security go after her? Well, I'll let you guys decide.
Court documents obtained by 7 News Monday reveal 40-year-old Roseanne Ferreira de Oliveira of Worcester was arrested back in February by Worcester police on charges of assault and battery of a pregnant woman. The Department of Homeland Security took Ferreira de Oliveira into custody during that chaotic scene on Eureka Ave in Worcester last week, telling us she's a violent criminal alien.
And remember, this city councilor was saying you don't have a warrant. Regardless of that, typically ICE does not even need a warrant to detain a known illegal immigrant. Now, the lawyer of that illegal immigrant says none of that actually happened. We'll get to that later in the video, but let's continue with the body cam footage.
She's
gotta walk up the street this way.
Let her go.
You gotta back up, man. You gotta back up. You can't be up on this. Please, back up.
She's my
Please back up.
constituent. She's my constituent.
Okay, well, you
You're
can go to
holding
the station when she gets her bail, okay?
She's
on
done
your arrest.
nothing. What are you doing? Why are you arresting her? Why are you arresting her?
Counsel, you cannot.
Guys, back up, man. You have to back away. Back away. You gotta back away.
Are you threatening
Back
me?
away. Get your hands off of us. Back up.
Absolutely not.
Let her go. She hasn't done anything. She hasn't done anything.
Jesus, bro.
I mean, let's be honest, if that was anyone else, they would have been arrested. The amount of warnings, the amount of, hey, get away from us, you can't be here, it happened like 20 times throughout this entire event. And by the way, outside of the body cam footage, I would argue the footage is 10 times worse.
Back up! Back up!
Guys, back up.
Stay back. Don't touch her.
Sir, back up.
I'm not obstructing. I'm protecting what you should be doing. Back up.
So again, as you can see in the external footage, she's telling them, get off, nope, I'm not moving, and she's even holding the hand of the illegal immigrant and wrapping her arm around her body. Once again, she's actually getting this illegal immigrant to commit another crime of not doing what the officers are saying. However, it's the city councilor's fault that this illegal immigrant is not doing what she's supposed to do. There's a lot of things here the city councilor can be arrested for.
Let go. Let go. Do not touch me. Do not touch it. Away from me. Touch me. Let go of me.
Let go of her.
The elected representative of this community. She's my constituent.
Guys, back up.
Now, you can even see in the background, the officer has no idea what to do. In fact, nobody knows what to do. There's like an awkward moment of silence. However, I do want to point out how dangerous this is. Not so much that she has the illegal immigrant wrapping her body and blocking off Homeland Security, but there is a crowd surrounding these agents and police officers. We're just assuming these are peaceful people. We have no idea who they are, and when their city councilor is causing all of this chaos, who's to say that they won't do the same? I really like this camera angle because it shows us how big the situation really was. It wasn't just a little consolidated area in the street, vehicles were blocked off. And if we take this to a worst case scenario, what if somebody actually got really hurt? How were police vehicles supposed to leave the area? How was an ambulance supposed to get in there? How was backup supposed to get in there? There's a lot of things you could really nail down for this city councilor to get in big trouble, but this camera angle once again shows us this was not a little consolidated situation. It was the entire road was blocked off and it involved the entire road.
The message for ICE is get out of our city.
ICE issuing a statement saying the counselor pulled a political stunt and incited chaos by trying to obstruct law enforcement.
Here at 4:30, we're learning more about a violent situation in Worcester in a neighborhood there. Last week, immigration officials were there to arrest a woman, but a crowd of people stepped in to try and stop her from being taken into custody.
Okay, so we know why ICE arrested this illegal immigrant. However, her own lawyer is saying it's not what you think it is. That whole violent offense on a pregnant woman, not true.
The mother, Roseanne Ferreira de Oliveira, now being held in a Rhode Island detention center.
Unknown persons approached her. They didn't know who they were. They were very confused. And, then the scene unfolded. No warrant was ever shown to her mother or to her or to anyone, really. And it seemed like the agents were there to take custody of everybody.
ICE calling the mother, Roseanne, a violent criminal. Lattarulo says the previous arrest was just a family spat.
What I know is there was a misunderstanding in the home, and what they allege in the criminal complaint was not what actually happened.
Now, what many people don't realize is that ICE acts very different when the known person or suspect is a criminal or violent offender or has been identified as a violent offender. They have no idea that it was a mishap, nor do they care. If it says on the piece of paper, violent person, they're going to treat them initially as a violent person because they have to assume everybody's lives are on the line. Now, ICE eventually does have to tell them this is why you're being arrested. If they don't do that, that is illegal. But initially speaking, when it comes to their SOPs or standard operating procedures, they don't have to be as peaceful as you want them to be because, again, they are assuming the person is a violent offender. Whether or not it's a woman and she has a baby and a family, it doesn't matter.
Go after everybody who is there illegally.
If you're in the country illegally, you're on the table because it's not okay to, violate laws of this country. You got to remember, every time you enter this country illegally, you violated a crime under Title 8 United States Code 1325. It's a crime. So if you're in the country illegally, you got a problem. And that's why I'm hoping those who are in the country illegally who have not been ordered removed by the federal judge should leave.
While you are emphasizing that you go after national security threats, you have said no one's off the table. If you're in the country illegally, you better be looking over your shoulder. You should be afraid and start packing now. Is that what you're doing to get hotel workers out or people working on farms, that they'll be so scared they just leave?
Look, I think if you're in the country illegally, it's not okay. It's not okay to violate laws of this country. We have millions of people standing in line, taking the test, doing their background investigation, paying the fees that want to come in the right way.
Let's talk about the arrest so far.
Now, here's where things get very interesting. Worcester, Massachusetts, the city where all of this is happening, is a sanctuary city, but not for illegal immigrants. However, it is a sanctuary city for LGBTQIA plus people. Sorry, I did not know the full acronym. The reason why this is relevant is because typically in sanctuary policies, you have a divide between police departments and federal agents like Homeland Security. However, I was wondering, why are we not seeing this? It's because this is not a typical sanctuary city for illegal immigrants.
You arrested her and threw her on the ground.
When I was over, the officer arrested her because she was obstructing me. We told her to get out
All
of the way.
you needed to do is just have one of us hold her and contain her. You didn't have to take her. This is what we talk about. This is what we talk about. That's a use of force. It's unnecessary. It is unnecessary. No, it's not emotional. It's real because those people. It's very real for them.
I understand that.
Okay?
I understand that. Yep.
And you guys were acting disrespectfully. Okay? I'm trying to protect my constituents.
Okay.
And I was wagging my finger as if I'm a piece of garbage. I have a right to be here. I'm the city councilor and I'm protecting my constituents.
Right. You're
Okay?
doing all you can, right?
Okay, but there was no reason why that woman was banged on the floor. Would you agree with me?
When I turned around, she was on the ground. Okay?
She wasn't on the ground. She didn't get there by herself, sir.
Okay, wait.
She was put there. She was put.
Okay, so let's bring this all together. When you cross-reference all of the footage, I do think this city councilor will eventually be arrested and charges will be brought up against her. When it comes to the charges, assault, obstruction, impediment, emboldening others, pretty much causing a riot, and using her position for power, telling people around her, I am the city councilor, and yelling at the police officers, I'm the councilor, you can't touch me. When you look at the police officers, on their face, they're confused, they have no idea what's going on. Not that they don't know the law, but I don't think they wanted to arrest her and have their jobs, under jeopardy. So let me know what you guys think about all of this. I'm very surprised a lot of people have no idea this story even exists on the national stage. Many people are focusing on Trump and not focusing on this situation. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. God bless, and we'll see you all later.